I preferred to use the term Arab in part to distinguish it from the later conquest by different Muslim peoples, like the Turks and the Persians and numerous other groups, and also the fact that Islam spreads later by missionary activity and so on, but also to try and reduce the later tendency of both medieval Muslim historians and modern Western scholars to rather Islamize the narrative, to see the early Arab conquest as already a wholly Muslim affair, whereas in fact there were many groups, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians and others, who also participated in the conquests alongside Arabs, but many of them did not convert to Islam to do so. Firstly, the Middle East is a land of quite harsh and contrasting terrain. You have substantial deserts, huge deserts in the case of Saudi Arabia, and the Sahara in Iran, many of them bigger than Western Europe, and also many major mountainous ranges such as the Hindu Kush in Afghanistan. Well, given that the terrain is very difficult, in many cases the Arabs didn't want to have to march up mountains and through deserts to conquer certain groups. So yes, they devised a whole repertoire of means for getting the agreement of these peoples to leave them alone. One was tax exemption. It's quite a popular one, inevitably, always is. Others are simply agreements to respect the life, property and customs of a people. This is actually a very ancient form of agreement which in the Middle East, which goes back, it's used by the Romans, it's used actually by numerous people like the Achaemenids and Assyrians as well. So it's got a very long tradition. They also allow certain groups that were perceived as very tough and hardy, like the Kurds and the Daylamis, who were in the mountains around the Caspian Sea, to provide military service instead of payment of taxes and instead of having to submit to Islam. Secondly, they had a lot of problem in holding the community together. They fight 2 civil wars in very quick succession in the 7th century and 2 further ones in the next century. The more Arab identity of the core of the fighters manages just to hold things together. Gradually, though, the religion of Islam is developed and becomes able to bind a quite broad community, which now starts to include more and more non-Arabs. And so over time, this becomes the gel for the society and allow it to continue forward until today.